Good afternoon, friends. Can I have the presentation on, please? I'll quickly go through the slides because that would help us save time. A unique organization which runs over 28,000 common service centers or internet kiosks in remote rural, which is almost equal to the total number of internet kiosks that one has seen in Western Europe. And next slide, please. Bridging the digital divide, bringing, in fact, bridging the gap between the rural citizens and the global village. Sahaj is an interesting combination. These internet kiosks is an interesting combination of human networks, digital networks, and physical networks. So we work, we are not an NGO. Let me clarify. It's a complete private sector profit organization. We have very stiff bottom lines and top lines. So you're talking in terms of profitability of more than 28,000 common service centers in remote rural in 6 states, run by, not by our employees, but run by village-level entrepreneurs according to the National E-Governance Plan. We have a 50% revenue sharing with them. Next slide, please. Yeah. So we are talking of 28,000 common service centers. We are talking of substrata 10,000 population, and perhaps all of us know how difficult it is to achieve bottom lines in those kind of locations and those kind of population strata. Next slide, please. This is the broad, I won't spend much time. All of you would be aware as to how these common service centers works from a data center and how the whole thing works, just to kind of explain. Next slide, please. You will see the number of common service centers, just to give you an idea of the volume of business and the remoteness of the operation. And, till date, we have given our rollout figures, which is a humongous number. As I said, that is almost equal to the total number of kind of telecenters that's there in large parts of Western Europe. It's the same thing as cyber cafes, except it's in a public-private partnership. They're referred to as common service centers. Next. Now, here comes the moat proposition. One of the core business areas that we handle is rural research. Again, nothing new, has been happening almost 40 years in India. A lot of social research happens, and Sahaj happens to partner Nielsen, among other organizations, and here we see a tremendous opportunity for mobile. Next slide, please. If we see that what the CAC does is basically it kind of leverages a two-way communication. This diagram will explain to you how the connect is established between the village and the clients, where there's awareness generation going from client to village, and we get back in the process customer feedback and not just consumer insights. There's a lot of social research that happens in India. In fact, you may be aware of the total 800 crore rural research market of India. Almost 370 crores is rural research, of which typically the kind of research that we would be referring to, and I'm bringing your attention to, is almost about 100 crores. Now, what is interesting is that the total size of this business today is 100 crores, and to my mind, it is not even 1/100th of what it could be if only there could be a mechanism to enable, one, electronic data collection, and also kind of leverage it with mobile application. So what we're talking in terms of is cheap, robust, good mobile application, which can increase the intensity, the accuracy, and the turnaround time of a business which itself is today 100 crores, and as I say that it is possibly not even 1/100th of its total business potential, as we see it at this point of time. Next slide, please. Here is a very simple diagram, kind of how we could use the mobile for data collection, which is, I say, that I don't need to explain to all of you. Today, let's move forward. Now, this is a diagram where we are trying to show as to how, Sahaj really can use very simple technologies. It could be SMS, it could be anything else, to collect information which does not necessarily need high-end handsets. And that's the point I'm trying to make to this audience present here, that I know that there are a whole lot of applications possibly available today which works on BlackBerry, which works on Android. But the question is, and that's the moot question, that if a village-level entrepreneur who barely makes 4,000 to 5,000 rupees a month, often less, then you can't really say that, okay, it works on BlackBerry or it works on my mobile. So my mobile or your mobile is not the moot point. The moot point is, can we create applications? Can we create kind of I would say empowerments, if I were to use that hackneyed word, that can be empower the village level entrepreneur so that with his cheap handset, maybe often Chinese handset, if I may take the liberty of saying so, can he kind of do, or she or she, in fact, we have 1,200 women entrepreneurs working with us. Can they do, kind of remote rural research through this? If it's possible, then the research that we do today for a Nestle or a Reckitt or a Levers, we could take it many, many folds interior. We could provide turnaround times which are much faster, and also the whole question of accuracy. However, there is also an underlying challenge that, as we have seen, that every application comes with its kind of downsides and limitations and things which work and things don't work properly in a certain time period. But the point I'm trying to make is that there is this completely huge market, and I'm not too sure how many of us are looking at this tremendous business opportunity of developing, kind of cheap, robust software for rural research. Next slide, please. Here is, kind of a typical diagram to explain, the relationship between the data center, the service provider, and the data collector. In a live scenario, in fact, one could actually give you a demonstration as to how the thing operates. But then, as I said, the issue is not whether it is available or not available. The issue is that can we kind of de-BlackBerryize, can we de-Androidize the whole thing so that it works even on my 1,000 rupees mobile phone? I think that's the challenge. And next slide, please. Just a curious thing, as you may want to know, as to why, Sahaj has taken up rural research in such an important manner. And why am I making this point that if tomorrow, I can get kind of applications which are cheap and robust, how I could kind of completely kind of boost the market is because of the deep grassroots presence that we have, because of the innovative technology that one can provide, the database. We have this huge ICT platform, as I said, 29,000 common service centers across 6 states. We are present, if I recall, in 107 districts out of 520 districts that India has. And yes, the last point. We are more cost effective in any case, even in our offline model, because a person doesn't have to move around. The village level entrepreneur belongs to that very village. He lives there, dies there. So, I mean, here's this guy constantly available, even for continuous search. But if even he had the empowerments of cheap technology, and that's what one would expect in the next couple of years, you could kind of do, I think, absolutely path-breaking research and innovation in remote rural in India. Yeah, that's about it.